Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Elle. I'm with the Geekery. I'm so excited to be interviewing y'all. To start, how did it feel when you first found out that you'd be voicing such iconic characters in the Gumball universe?
I was honestly so shocked. I was just like, "Somebody say that again," because I was just really surprised and honored to be taking over such an iconic character.
Well, for me, it was so out of the blue. It was so like the last thing I was thinking of because I did it in my car one take. I did the audition in my car one take. My dad was like, "Here, you got the audition," because I was in a rush. I was about to go shoot a season of a TV show, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Just he gave me the phone, and I did it. And then he was like, "Are you good with that?" I was like, yeah, sure, why not?" And a couple weeks later, if not a month, I'm in my trailer eating lunch, and then my dad's like, "Hero, your agent and your manager are on the phone." And I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "Hero, you're now the new Darwin." I was going absolutely crazy because like me and my castmates were in my trailer eating lunch, and they heard it. They're like, "Yeah!" We were going crazy. We were like, "Yes, let's go, let's go." That had to be one of the single best moments of my life.
That's awesome.
I actually, funny enough, I auditioned for the Amazing World of Gumball movie before I auditioned for the show. I put in my audition for the movie and never heard back. And then I auditioned for a different character for the movie and never heard back. And a month or two later, they, Cartoon Network, messaged my agents and they were like, "Hey, does his voice still sound the same? Great, you're Gumball." I was not ready for it. There was no call. It was just a message, and I was thrilled. I was so excited, but I definitely wasn't expecting it. So I was it was more shock than relief.
That's amazing. Okay, so what is something about voice acting that surprised you once you were behind the mic?
I think I was surprised specifically with this character Gumball. I was so surprised how similar he is to me. And our sayings and the sounds that we make are very similar. So putting up the script here in front of the microphone and reading the lines, it just felt like a goofier, wackier version of me. I was uh, definitely surprised by that, but in a great way.
Well, I was surprised kind of how easy it was or how easy they made it because we do this thing called scratch and match where they would play the animatic and they would kind of tell me how long my line is, kind of how to say it. And like the first day I was just like, "Oh, okay," kind of did some of my job for me. And I was like, "Oh, cool. That makes it a bit easier." I was surprised. I was like, "All right."
Yeah, I was surprised because in some moments it was like much easier to play Anais, and then other moments I had to really try harder and think like if I was in her shoes, what would I sound like and what would I feel like? So it's surprising to me that it was easier and harder in some moments.
Cool. So, was or did you do anything? Did all of you do anything special to get into character? Any warm ups, character rituals? Did you try to keep the voices the same from the previous cast or bring something new?
When I signed on, they told me that I sounded a lot like the original Gumballs, which I was surprised by because I didn't think so, but apparently I did. Um, so I Gumball's voice is just my voice, which I was really happy by. So I wasn't really focused on doing a voice. I was more focused on just being Gumball's crazy self. And as for like rituals that I would do beforehand, I would just get into the most ridiculous, crazy, nonsensical mindset that I possibly could so that I could get completely unhinged for the recording session.
Yeah, I think I didn't really do any warm-ups. It was kind of also just my regular voice with the hints of like being a little bit younger, but also having to be smart and being like, ugh, you always have to save your family again. So it was kind of like that version of me being a little bit smarter and a little bit younger at the same time with my normal voice.
I I don't sound like Darwin almost at all. So I definitely had to watch the most previous season, season 6, and kind of copy off of him. And I'll just replay some of the lines over and over and I'll be like, okay, and I would like do this thing where I would try and find the pitch. I'd be like, until I would find the right sound, until it sounded right, until it sounded like Darwin.
It's crazy how you can sound like Darwin. It sounds great.
Thank you. It's hard sometimes.
So do y'all get to record your lines together sometimes, or is it all separate?
Man, I wish.
Yeah, it's always separate.
It would definitely be fun, really fun, if we were all in the room together and we could play off what we're saying. I would definitely like that.
Yeah, that
It's
would be
actually
really exciting.
this is the first time I've ever met Kinza. It's just us, the just me, the actor, and the vocal director Eden, who is so great, and she really does help us make it sound like there's somebody else in the room, and guide us make it more real and more comedic, but really helps us find what makes Gumball great.
Oh wow. Well, hopefully y'all will get to record together sometime in the future.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know it might hinder your voices, but are y'all allowed to have snacks in the booth with you? Because I know it takes a while. And if so, what are your favorite snacks to have?
Oh, interesting.
Oh gosh, I feel like I've never really snacked inside the booth because I feel like I try to be a little bit more professional and not be like, oh, I really want a snack and be a little bit childish. But I, if I had the chance and I really wanted to, I probably would. I'm not sure what I would take with me though.
I'm a fan of a good old-fashioned banana. After a recording session, run downstairs, eat a banana, and feel really great about what I just did.
Uh, Whatever my parents cook for dinner, really, because by the time we were done, it'd be like dinner time. My dad or my mom would have made dinner, and I'd be like, "Yep, gonna have some nice, good lamb chops, whatever my dad made, spaghetti," and it would feel really good after that. Sometimes 3 hour recording session.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, if your characters were to survive in a horror movie, well, who would go out first if they were not to survive?
Well, part of me thinks Gumball would do something so stupid that would get him killed first. But also part of me thinks he'd be so ignorant that he would just walk past everything, like not freaked out by anything, not scared by it, just walk in right through everything, doesn't even realize that anything's wrong.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, actually. And I feel like Anais would either be so smart about it that she'd be able to survive really long, or she'd think through it so hard that she'd just get burnt out and not survive.
I think Darwin would most likely be first to go, because because
I didn't want to say it.
so loving and caring. He's just like, oh, come on, guys, they don't know what they're doing. Let's just give them a second chance. And he seems like the kind of guy to like try and fix it with the hug, and then he would be out. He would be a zombie, and he, he's just too kind. Sometimes you can't be too kind. Sometimes you got to be a little bit more rough.
That's true. That's true. So what, if y'all can talk about it, what are y'all most excited for the OG fans and new fans coming in to see for this upcoming season?
Well, the OG fans will get lots of Easter eggs from the original, returning characters, running gags that are still going, and also some closure with the cliffhanger in from season 6. And then new fans, the episodes are mostly standalone, so new fans will be able to kind of jump in everywhere and get sucked right in.
I'm excited for people to kind of see my portrayal as Darwin and everyone else, because the new episodes, you could tell it's different people, but it's still the same. Like Alkaio, he did great as Gumball, and you could still tell like he added like his own like flavor to Gumball. Kinza, she made it her own. I made it my own. I'm just excited for people to see our portrayal of the characters.
Yeah, I agree because it's gonna be like you said, the same but different because it's just gonna be our own spin on it, but in the classic like body of the Amazing World of Gumball.
Okay. And if your character had to explain what this show is to someone who has never seen it in 10 seconds, how would that go?
Our characters?
Yes.
Um, I think Gumball would just be like, it's just a pretty normal day. It's pretty boring. Nothing really happens. I just go to school, come back, go to sleep, and just a pretty normal world.
Uh, Darwin would probably just say like, it's just me trying to get Gumball out of crazy stuff, trying to keep him out of jail. Just that.
Yeah, I feel like Anais would just be like, yeah, it's just me saving my family all the time.
Those are some good pitches to get new fans to come in. Um, so we are officially 2 weeks away from San Diego Comic Con. Are y'all excited for it? Will it be your first time going?
I'm extremely excited. I've only ever been to LA Comic Con, and that was awesome. But what people have told me is that LA doesn't even compare if you're going to San Diego. So I'm very excited about that. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm also really excited, but I've never been to Comic Con, and so I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing what that looks like.
Yeah, I've also never been to a Comic Con before, and I've always wanted to go to San Diego Comic Con, let alone be on a panel at San Diego Comic Con where there's people watching you. And I'm super excited because I've seen videos about the Comic Con, and I would always just be like, man, if only I were to go. And now I'm going.
Well, I hope y'all have an awesome time there, and thank you so much for taking time out to do an interview with me.
Thank
Thank you
you so
very
much.
much.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.